The move to recognize Khasi and Garo as official languages in Meghalaya marks a long pending cultural acknowledgement. Yet its late arrival, decades after the state's formation, raises critical questions regarding why milestones such as the 2005 associate status failed to generate tangible progress. The historic shift highlights a persistent gap between policy and practice without monitoring institutional accountability. The current decision may become a symbolic gesture rather than a transformative reform. There is a significant hurdle in this part, as Meghalaya lacks a structured state level literary body similar to Sahitya Akademi. The absence of such entity limits the systematic growth, funding, and preservation of Khasi Garo literature, leaving the linguistic ecosystem without a central anchor. There are two sides to this development. An important factor is that the transition to trilingual governance involving English, Khasi, and Garo introduces a complex administrative burden. While it will be inevitable increase the workload regarding translation, documentation, and public communication, it simultaneously presents a strategic opportunity to create new employment avenues for translators, educators, and language experts. However, this shift is complicated by the deep rooted dominance of English in education and in professional spheres because there is no strong tradition of vernacular schooling in the state. Adopting regional language at grassroots level will be a gradual and difficult process compared to other Indian states where regional languages already lead early education. In higher sections of education, too, there are no books or enough study material in the vernacular language. This especially would be difficult in science subjects which need expert intervention to develop books and academic material to create a level of playing field for the vernacular language. To prevent this literary stagnation, the state must look beyond its rich oral tradition and address the limited written output in these languages. Without specific incentives, publishing support, and the development of a dedicated readership, literary growth may remain disconnected from the modern era. Unlike other established Indian languages under the 8th schedule, there are not many translated work in Khasi and Garo. There has to be an initiative by both the government and the literary bodies in the state to create a plethora of translated work in the two languages from other Indian languages and English. This will not only increase the collection of literary work in the vernacular language and will also help in expanding the readership. The untapped digital opportunity will also be vital in making two vernacular languages popular through literature. The official recognition must be the catalyst for digitizing Khasi and Garo language content, ranging from specialized keyboard to the online media to effectively engage young generation. This apart, the government should encourage more vernacular literary events and competitions to make the usage of the language as popular as English. A literary and analytical culture must be inculcated, and this should be done with the help of scholars and intellects in the state. But before all the initiative, a roadmap has to be chalked out with the help of the experts. This will help the government to understand the gap in the course of the development of the language so far. Ultimately, while the language recognition strengthens cultural identity and pride, balancing this with administrative efficiency in a multilingual state is a delicate task. Long-term success will not depend on the government orders alone, but on the holistic ecosystem that integrates these language into curriculum, teacher training, and daily community life driven by the energy of the youth as primary ambassador for the revival.